Welcome. It's the Matic. It's the illest blood in the land. Welcome back, Legends community. It's Matic 365, or you call me Matic. The choice is yours. Welcome back, returning subscribers. Thank you so much for returning, liking, commenting, and sharing. New subscribers, hope you like it here, and also subscribe, like, comment, and share if you want to. Let's get into it. Today's new video is actually a story time. On my very first podcast and why it eventually ended. So this story time starts off on Twitter and me actually doing a collaborative podcast. And this is even before my previous one that I had. And this is like way back. Like I was like maybe 300 subs on YouTube. And I came across this person on Twitter that I'd known for about maybe 3 or 4 years. And we're just going to call her Lady Blur. Lady Blur was someone that I followed on Twitter. We had been following each other, conversating back and forth on each other's posts on Twitter. So that's how the friendship established, on how we became really cool. I did know that Lady Blur was from the West Coast. I am from the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool. I don't know what it is about me meeting content creators from the West Coast, like just on social media. And then people from the Midwest, you know what I'm saying? Just, it's like a natural vibe. One day, Lady Blur, I decided to ask her a question, you know what I'm saying? And the question was about something that I said, you know what? I think it would be dope if we did something together, because me and her had a lot in common. We had this exact same things in common. She was a music head, gamer, into anime, cartoons, Marvel, DC. And so was I. That was the instant connection that we had with one another. Yes, we were from different parts of the US, but the thing was, that was the thing. So I decided to say, you know what? I'm gonna shoot her a DM. And I know DMs sometimes can be uncomfortable, because I know sometimes you're like, man, is that person gonna actually reach back out to me? Am I gonna be ignored, blocked? Those are scenarios, right? So I reached out to her in the inbox on the opportunity of us doing something together, because we both like pop culture. And I was surprised, like, because at the time, people did not really respond as much on Twitter when it came to inboxes. And I wasn't on no super crazy stuff or anything like that, or weird energy. And she was like, yeah, let's do something together when it comes to a podcast. And I was like, okay, great. So that following weekend, I know it was a Sunday, me and Lady Blur discussed on pretty much where we were going to go with this podcast. You know what I'm saying? And like the direction that we were going to go for. And at the beginning, we started off with Skype. Skype was kind of the thing we started off with. And me personally, don't get me wrong, Skype was definitely popping back then. Back in the day, Skype was hot. And, we tried Skype 3 different times. And I clearly just told her, I said, you know what, Lady Blur, I'm going to have to be honest with you. This whole Skype thing ain't working, because your people not coming through to support you. Not just your people, my people, you know what I'm saying? And some of my friends at the time, not getting out all your friends going to support all your creative endeavors. That's totally fine. But I couldn't even get them to come through, right? And that became a problem, because I'm like, well, we've done this 3 times already. So I asked her a question, you know what I'm saying, through Twitter, because at the time I did not have her phone number or anything like that. I said, well, I got another question, meaning like, where could we go with this? Clearly, Skype is not working for us as a team, right? So I'm like, what is the other alternative or option could we consider? Because my option was YouTube. At the time, I did not know she had a YouTube channel. So we're going to talk about that too in the story. But she's like, oh, let's try Zoom. I'm like, what is Zoom? Like, because at the time, Matic did not know what Zoom was. I had no clue on what this was foreign to me. This was brand new. And she's like, oh, it's an app. And me being the person I am, I do my research on apps before I install it on my phone, right? So I looked into the app to make sure that the app was secure, safe, so it wouldn't be any viruses or anything coming up on my phone. I reached back out to her, via Twitter in the inbox, and I said, okay, I downloaded this thing. So then another week comes, and we are actually schedule a meeting. I had to learn how to use Zoom, by the way. And the first meeting, it was weird because it was hard for me to grasp the concept about this. I mean, she was walking me through the process, and I really gladly appreciate that Lady Blur did that for me, because like this was still new to me. Yes, I am a techie. I do like to learn things on my own time, but this was brand new to me. Like Skype was like, okay, I know this because I'm familiar with it. I've used it in high school, college, you know what I'm saying, that type of thing. But when it came to Zoom, it was a brand new way of doing things. So you had to actually send a code to actually be invited to the meeting. If you missed the meeting, I don't know if it's still like that with Zoom now. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That is it. So I reach out to Lady Blur again. I said, yo, we got a problem. She's like, what's that? I said, well, I missed the meeting. And she was very assertive. I could respect that. She's like, okay, look, we're going to reschedule it today, but just in a few minutes. Like, give me some time. I think she was like going to get something to eat or something, or just was trying to make sure that things were good on her end. I don't know exactly what. And I said, okay, bet. So then eventually I tried again. I said, oh, we did it. Like I'm finally understanding how to use it and everything. And I was like, oh, this is great. So we conversate for a while and stuff. And then I said in the second meeting that we did on Zoom, I said, it seems like you don't really have people really supporting you like they're saying they are, you know? And I already knew that my people weren't going to come through on something. Because my people were saying, yo, when you come into YouTube? And I kind of got annoyed with it. I understand people wanted me to like do it on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So I did 2 more meetings on Zoom. And I kind of got to a realization or a real moment where I'm like, clearly this is not working for neither one of us. This is not helping you. This is not helping me. The podcast is supposed to help one another. And I asked Lady Blur a real question. This is when I found out, because I don't know why she didn't want to do it on YouTube. I said, Lady Blur, got a question for you. And she's like, what's that? I said, do you have a YouTube channel? She's like, oh yeah, I got a YouTube channel. Now, when was you gonna tell Il Blurmatic in the back of my mind that you had a YouTube channel, right? So I'm like, yo, like, let's get away from Zoom. Clearly, people want to see us. My subscribers are like, yo, when are you coming to YouTube? I said, well, wait a minute, pause. Let me ask my co-host. At the time, Lady Blur. And Lady Blur was kind of like uncertain about it. I'm like, what? Why are you uncertain about this? First off, you don't have as many subscribers as I do at the time. I was like maybe 300-400, somewhere up in there. She had a decent, like maybe 100 something, 200 something. And I'm like, why wouldn't you want to see your channel grow? Because my thing is, if we're working together on a podcast, right? Let's be realistic about it, right? I don't want to just see myself grow. I want to see you grow right along with me. You know what I'm saying? So that was my thing. My thing was like, I'm seeing the bigger picture here. You know what I'm saying? I see your channel growing right along with my channel. And she was like, she didn't know what to say. She was speechless. Because like I seen the little bubbles on Twitter. You know how on Twitter, you see the conversation go on when you inbox somebody. And I'm like, when you like to see your channel grow. And I even told her, I said, look, better yet, I'll do one more Zoom with you. I negotiated with her. You know what I'm saying? I'll do one more Zoom with you. But after this Zoom, I said it to her. Let her know off rip. We are sending this to YouTube. I'm just saying, if it's not working, Why keep going back to the same process over again and you already see the results are not working? So I did the one more Zoom. And I said, Lady Blur, it's time to make a real tough decision here. You know what I'm saying? I told her, I said, look, I get it. You comfortable with Zoom, but clearly this is not working for us as a team. And I said, you got a decision to make. We gonna either take this to my YouTube channel or we gonna take it to your YouTube channel. And she's like, well, I don't want to do it anymore. Okay, fine. Because clearly you don't see the potential or the value in your own channel. Your channel could be doing better if you put it on YouTube. My people kept asking me, when are you coming to YouTube? Literally. And she just wouldn't budge. But I respect her, right? Because Lady Blur wasn't rude about it, wasn't disrespectful about it, didn't block me, because trust me, it could have went that way. And we eventually parted ways. It was like, man, it would, you really just were like, no, I don't want to do this. I'm like, why? I never understood it. But you know what? In the long haul, it worked out for me. You know what I'm saying? I ended up doing another podcast later on down the line. But it was unfortunate. I had potential. I saw not the growth, but I could see it growing on YouTube. She was stuck in sticking with Zoom. My people wasn't coming through. My people were not coming through on my end. Her people weren't even coming through at all. So I'm like, this is not beneficial. This is not helping us grow as content creators on YouTube. But it is the hardest working blood on YouTube, guys. You tell me in the comments, have you ever done a podcast with someone and clearly you have a co-host and things do not work out? It is the hardest working blood on YouTube, guys. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, subscribing, also sharing. And I'm out, legends. 3,000 watch hours is the goal for the channel.